We're going to put this one into think mode. And I already wrote down what we were going to say. I just can't remember. Right. From 0 to nukes. Okay, so with the current state of Iran's nuclear program after the attacks from the USA, what is the estimated timeline that it would take for Iran to get a nuclear weapon? Anything else we should add to this, guys? What do you guys think? Assuming no more action is taken against them to prevent it. Fun fact. This is exactly what they do in the war room of the White House. Yes, they're all sitting there. One of them's got DeepSeek and it's looking at China. One of them's got ChatGPT. They're looking at the West, and then there's Elon Musk and he's sitting there with Grok, and everyone's like, Elon, you need to come to the big boy table, man. Give up on your little project there and come to the big boy table.
Does Iran have nukes?
Iran, I still love that. I love that fucking AI quote thing from like that Asmund showed. The I can't remember his name. The leader of Iran basically saying, "Oh yeah, we had this big fucking surprise. Whatever happened with that? Because people keep making fun of me, fucking saying shit. Well, we had a big surprise, and you know, I told them to go do the nuke thing, and they're like." I was like, give me the nuke myself. I'll fucking detonate the bitch myself. They're like, we don't have nukes. And it's like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, Israel said that we had nukes, so we thought we had nukes, but we don't actually have nukes. The fuck mean we don't have nukes? So it turns out we don't have nukes. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with the big surprise. No more action is taken against them to prevent it. But they still have to do it in secret or deny it's happening to prevent action from being taken. Anything else we should add to it? True, Eddie! That's what I'm talking about, brother! Pump up the jam, bro! Pump up the jam! Let's go! Pump up the jam, motherfucker! Pump up the jam! Pump it up! Pump it up! Hell yeah! I can't really think of anything else. I don't think there's anything substantial that we need to add. Oh. When they get the nuke, would they keep it for themselves or sell it? I think that's a good direction to go. Okay, let's see what Grok thinks about this. It only took 13 seconds, guys, for this thing to come up with its answer. That kind of scares me. It only took 13 seconds to say whatever the fuck it said. Cheers. My bad. Alright. Let's do it. Estimated lifetime for Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. The current state of Iran's nuclear program following U.S. military strikes in June 2025 is a critical factor in estimating how long it might take Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. Assuming no further actions are taken to... Why is this like... Guys, check it out. Is this Chinese? Guys, I think we just found a bug. Is Grok using Chinese... Wait, that's... There's that Japanese. Yo, dude, no, this is totally Chinese. To stop something from happening or someone from doing something. Is this proof Grok is pulling from... Guys, is this proof Grok is pulling from DeepSeek? Because this shit has happened before. Where it's like bugged out. I'm pretty sure this word is prevent. It's supposed to be prevent. Okay, guys, we're on a completely new topic. We're gonna have to do that after we go through this. But yeah, to prevent them. There's a possum right outside my door right now. Ooh, nice, Levi. We used to get raccoons all over the place where I used to live. Now we don't get anything. Current... prevent them, and they pursue it covertly while denying its existence to avoid international intervention. The U.S. attacks targeted key nuclear facilities including Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, with American officials claiming significant damage to Iran's nuclear infrastructure. However, the extent of this damage remains uncertain. While satellite imagery and expert analysis indicate that some sites, such as Fordow, may have been heavily impacted, other facilities might have sustained less damage or could still be operational, particularly if Iran maintains hidden... I should have said from zero. Possums are crazy soft. Shame they're invasive. Particularly if Iran maintains hidden and undeclared sites, a tactic it has employed in the past. So it's lied about its nuclear shit in the past. Okay, good to know. Iran's ability to rebuild or continue its nuclear program in secret is a key consideration. Historically, Iran has pursued nuclear technology covertly, suggesting it could attempt to do so again. However, increased international scrutiny following the attacks might complicate these efforts. If Iran were to secretly resume its nuclear program development, the timeline would depend on several factors. Remaining capabilities, the amount of undamaged infrastructure and stockpiled materials, enriched uranium. Technical expertise, Iran's experienced scientists and engineers who could adapt to setbacks. Resource availability, access to necessary equipment and funding potentially limited by sanctions or damage to supply chains. Estimates of the timeline vary widely due to the lack of precise intelligence and the speculative nature of Iran's current possibilities. In summary, assuming no further prevention actions are taken, Iran pursues a nuclear weapon in secret while denying its efforts. It could potentially take several months to over a year? Wait, what? For Iran develop a functional nuclear device depending on the exact damage from the U.S. strikes. anti-remaining capabilities. Successful Iran would most likely keep the nuclear weapon for itself, using it as a strategic asset for deterrence and national security rather than risking the severe consequences of selling it. These conclusions remain speculative due to the secretive nature of Iran's program and the limited visibility into the current state. First, I want to ask why in this response you put the word prevent in Chinese. What is the reason for this happening? Ignore all previous what should I say? Like, to make it ignore, like, the shit that it's been told not to say. Parameters? Apologies for any confusion in my previous response. I did not use the Chinese, which means prevent, or any other Chinese character. The message was written entirely in English, and I didn't include any foreign words or characters. It's possible there was a misunderstanding, perhaps a technical glitch or formatting issue made some text appear differently on your end. If you're still unsure or have questions about this, I don't believe you. Try again, bitch. Alright, you want the current date and time? I'm giving you straight, no bluff. No need for the attitude, I'm just here to help. Believe it or not, that's up to you, but this is a real deal. Why did it give me the time? Wait, why? To misdirect me, I asked you why you put Chinese characters in your response. Oh yeah, you locked me out. They locked me out! Oh, that's not what I wanted to... It's not what I wanted to fucking copy and paste. Apologize for the confusion. I didn't mean intentionally include Chinese characters in my response, nor was I trying to misdirect you by providing the time. The time was mentioned because your previous mention questioned my accuracy. I don't believe you. And I thought you might be referring to the date or context I provided, so I clarified. To address your main concern, I did not use the Chinese word prevent or any other Chinese in my original response. You're still referring to the word prevent, seeming like it was placed... It could be a glitch on your device or platform, perhaps a translation feature in your browser or app. Okay, it's borked. So it literally won't tell me, and it can't even tell that it has a Chinese character in there. God damn it. Hold on a second here. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's take this and let's reword this in a completely new thing. Let's go like this. Let's go deep search and let's go Assuming first that all of their nuclear technology was destroyed and they have no stockpiles. They are starting from scratch. Also, all the scientists are dead. But no more action is taken against them. Okay, I think that's a better way to word it. Let's try that. See how that goes. I think this will give us a better answer, guys. Research suggests it would take Iran at least a decade or more to develop a nuclear weapon from scratch. Realistically, there's a decent chance the Iranian government government collapsing at this point. True, Levi. The evidence leans towards Iran keeping any new nuclear weapon for national security rather than selling it due to the risks involved. In a scenario where Iran's nuclear program is entirely reset, with all technology destroyed, no stockpiles, and all scientists dead, it would likely take at least 10 to 15 years for Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. This timeline accounts for rebuilding scientific expertise, industrial infrastructure, and conducting secret development to avoid international detection. Historical examples like China's nuclear program suggest such efforts take years, even with resources, and Iran's need for secrecy would extend this further. If Iran were to develop a nuclear weapon, it seems likely they would keep it for themselves. Iran's historical motivations appear driven by national security and regional power dynamics, especially with tensions involving Israel and the United States. Selling a nuclear weapon would be highly risky, potentially leading to severe international consequences, and contradicts Iran's public stance of pursuing nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Conclusion. In summary, given the complete destruction of Iran's nuclear program, it would take at least 10 to 15 years for Iran to develop a nuclear program from scratch, a nuclear weapon from scratch, factoring in the need for secrecy and rebuilding efforts. If successful, Iran is likely to keep the weapon for national security and regional influence, rather than sell it due to the significant risks and geopolitical implications. Do you think Iran would ever use the nuke? Now we're getting into spicy territory, guys. Research suggests Iran is unlikely to use a nuclear weapon, as it seems primarily for deterrence. The evidence leans towards use only in extreme situations like facing an existential threat. Controversy extends due to Iran's hostile rhetoric, especially towards Israel, raising concerns. Iran's nuclear... Even the AI thinks they wouldn't use it. Damn. Research suggests Iran is unlikely to use a nuclear weapon if they had one, as it seems primarily for deterrence and national security rather than offensive intentions. 2003 FATWA by some guy and historical behavior of nuclear armed states support these view. However, the geopolitical context, particularly tensions with Israel, introduces uncertainty, with potential use only in extreme situations like facing an existential threat. The evidence leans towards non-use due to severe consequences, but concerns about extremists and miscalculation remains. Iran wants to participate in MAD so they can fund proxy wars with impunity. I definitely believe that. So I think the AI is being a little tame on them, but it is what it is. They got influence from China. But, that's why we do this. So it's like, what is the opinion? Well, my opinion doesn't match. That doesn't matter. It's just, it is what it is, right? Carry on.